Hi guys, wee Bob here, and I thought I'd do a community question. I'm hoping my microphone stays where it is, but Alan did a community question a few weeks back, and it got me the kind of bug to just come on here, draw, talk about nonsense, and get things off my chest. But I was thinking to go back to the Friday foursome and put a community question out there for everybody in the kind of the format of the Friday foursome. There's not going to be a winner as such. It's just a question where you've got to come up with four answers. So the question I have got this week, and I'm going to draw kind of at the same time. I've got another drawing that I've started, a kind of portrait drawing that I'm going to work on while I talk away about the ones that I'm thinking about, and I'll try and put in some footage of what they are. So the question I have, let's see if I can bring it up without showing you guys, is what is your top 4 favourite game intros? Probably PC, PS2 at the latest, but you can go later, you can go whenever you like. So what is your top 4 kind of Friday foursome favourite game intros? Mainly talking about prior to the big massive games that you get nowadays with the fully fledged film intro. So I'm going to go through my 4. It will give you a better idea maybe of what I mean, and you can come back to me in a response, a video response if you like, or just in the comments. So hopefully this is working fine, which it appears to be. I'm going to bring up my other picture, and then I'm going to talk about my 4, and then maybe talk about generally, if I'm still drawing, I might just talk generally about like life, I guess, life. So let's see, I've got my drawing here. Just need to turn off the texture, and then I can get started, bring up my reference if I can. So what is my top introductions to games, and why would it be the case that that is the ones that I've chosen? It says I'm just going to draw while I do this, try and get this drawing a bit further forward. We'll see what happens. So number 4 for me is, let me just check, number 4 for me is, as a kid growing up, about the early 90s when the PlayStation 1 came out, my brother, and I've probably told you this story many times, is my brother was kind of my hero, and I was really interested in everything he liked. So anything he liked, I liked. So if you liked Metallica, I liked Metallica. If you liked Iron Maiden, I liked Iron Maiden, and so on and so forth. And the PlayStation 1 had not, well, it'd been out a wee while, and my brother got the yellow book, the yellow page book, which was for buying games and consoles second hand. So he had been looking at buying a PlayStation 1, and I was fully excited for this PlayStation 1 to arrive. And being a kid, I couldn't afford it. My brother had to afford it. Excuse me while I take a wee drink. My brother could afford it because he'd started working, and he got the PlayStation, and along with it came a few games, Destruction Derby being one of them. And another one, there was like a PlayStation intro disc from memory. There was like a game disc that came with loads of demos that you could try out. And the other game he got, and my number 4 pick, is Alien Trilogy.
Burke, we've lost contact with the colony on LV-426. Take Gorman and his team to investigate. We don't want anyone to learn that the company has deliberately infected colonists in order to smuggle alien specimens past ICC quarantine.
Yes, sir.
It's imperative that you get Ripley to trust you. She's familiar with the xenomorph, and we may need her help to bring one out alive.
Understood.
All right, understand this. The Bioweapons Division had orders to eliminate anyone who attempts to interfere. Obviously, they won't be aware of your team's mission.
Run a bypass. Good luck, Ripley.
Accessing
Computer system. Security codes. We're in. Stay frosty, people.
Called different things. I think it was maybe called Alien Resurrection in other parts of the world. I'm not too sure. Perhaps you can enlighten me to that fact, or just tell me that I'm plain wrong and everywhere it was called Alien Trilogy. So I love Aliens. I love it. It's one of those things I absolutely adore. Having went and seen the new Alien Romulus at the cinema, I really enjoyed it, and really looking forward to it coming back out so that I can play it again. Throwing away my pen there. It's a good start. So just get rid of this for now. So yeah, Alien Trilogy, it starts with an introduction kind of full motion video, and like I said, I'll probably put it onto the on the screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. This drawing and talking at the same time is like playing a game. It's quite difficult. So what was it about it? Aliens, I've loved the game for a long time. I loved the movie for a long time, I should say. And just getting the capability to play the game on a PlayStation was a new experience, and the PlayStation at the time was mind-blowing. It was just something that everybody was getting into. It was a big kind of club scene thing. And all my friends, well, some of my friends had PlayStations long before I had a PlayStation, so the kind of anticipation, and I sort of got Alan's question sort of wrong the last time. I started talking about the internet and its effect on gaming the last time, and his question was more to do with, has the internet ruined anticipation? And to answer that, I guess yes, but also money has ruined anticipation. The fact that I've got money and I can kind of go and buy any game or any game system that I like right now means that the anticipation for those things is vastly reduced from what it used to be, because you had potentially months, sometimes years, before you were able to gain access to some of these systems. And that was the case for me. I couldn't afford it. My brother ended up being the one that afforded the PlayStation, and they got it second hand through these Yellow Pages idea, the Wednesday Supermart paper or something like that. I was looking earlier on at Mean Machines magazine, and it had classified ads available in it for selling your system. If that's what you were wanting to do, you were wanting to go and look and phone up somebody and see if you could get a bargain on one of your systems. Well, I'm going to have to bring this down a bit because it's too high. Let's drop it somewhere there, and let's make this back drop. It should be white anyway. Don't know why the bottom layer is not white. Let's just drop that down there. Grab the paint bucket. Is it going to work? Yep, that's us. So I'm just going to my layer and fill that in as well. So yeah, I mean, the intro to Aliens was great. It was a bit of the film, a bit of a kind of added in stuff that you hadn't seen before, and the famous line, Hudson run a bypass, is in there, which is one of my favourite all-time lines in a movie. And I ended up calling my dog Hudson many moons ago, back when I first got married. Sadly no longer with us. He got rehomed due to unforeseen circumstances at that time. So that's number one. I'll put it on the screen while this is on, and while you're trying to kind of watch me do some sort of mad drawing here. So what's number two? Number two is quite special for me, and I have mentioned it again in the past that the arcades were a bit few and far between, but the ones that were there, the one that caught my attention the most, and it's because I absolutely loved the TV show and the cartoon, was Teenage Mutant Ninja or Hero Turtles as we called them. The intro to that with the full theme tune, it was just stupendous. You'd walk in and you'd see it was like playing a cartoon. The cartoons were on the TV, and then suddenly you could be these characters and fight the baddies. Fight the bosses. That was Bebop and Rocksteady, for example. It was something else. It was a crazy feeling to be able to take something that you could see in the TV, and some of the graphics were like the TV. So it was amazing to see these appear on the screen, and then being able to play them was something else. So Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, as we called them. I always loved Michelangelo. He was my favourite. I think that was the case for quite a few people, although I'm probably more like Donatello, a bit of a geek. And I know a lot about computers and stuff, so yeah. I'm just trying to get this hair correct. So you're just really blocking in the shape of the hair. I know you're not really interested in drawing, but Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, I loved the movie. I absolutely loved the movie, to the point where I got a tape recorder and taped the sound coming from the TV just so that I could listen to the movie when I was going to bed. And I still listen to stories when I'm going to bed now. Nowadays it's kind of started a thing for me. So yeah, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, the start of that, fire, and then they jump out the drain and they head to save April, because she's just been stolen by the baddies. Bebop and Rocksteady, I think, have captured her. So you get a full introduction. You get this amazing intro that I love, and it just made me want to have more money so that I could play it longer. And I would stand watching people play it just because I couldn't afford to put money into the system. So number 3, that's 2. So the first one was Alien Trilogy, and the next one was the Turtles. So number 3 is quite a special one. Well, they're all special, and you can tell me yours. Number 3, number 2. So if we went from 4 being Alien Trilogy, 3 being Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, to my number 2, which is Viet Cong. And it took me a wee bit of a while to come up with these. I had a few other options on my list of things I was thinking about and things I thought would probably fit the question. But I am really interested to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'm really interested because I was quite limited in the amount of games that I had growing up, and to hear what you guys perhaps chose, because you've got a bigger experience of gaming than I do, will be interesting. I need to change that brush because that's not what I want to do. I want this to get a bit darker in here and sweep back. Yep, something like that. And so, right, number 2, what did I say? Viet Cong. Viet Cong, not many of you will have heard of Viet Cong, and if you have, perhaps you're a PC gamer. But Viet Cong was a great game. It was my first introduction to kind of online gaming. Not entirely, but sort of. Excuse me while I take a drink. But my introduction to these online game sessions, where I met a bunch of people who I still am in contact today. And this was pre-YouTube, so I think it's kind of a precursor to what I do now with you guys, where I know certain people a lot better than others. I've met some of yous. And it was a kind of precursor to that, where I met some people online. I never actually met them in real life, to be honest. I was playing online and Viet Cong came along, and it wasn't Call of Duty, because I'd been playing, I think Call of Duty came a bit later on, which I eventually got into. and I met a great bunch of people, but the co-op of Viet Cong was something else. The co-op missions, the song for Purple Haze was another great thing. It was a great tune. I'll put it on in the background probably as I'm drawing this. So if you've been listening to something, I'm definitely not listening to anything just now. But if you have, it's because I've probably put it on in the background just to keep you a bit more entertained than listening and watching me do drawing. So, Viet Cong, if you've not played it, it was a great game back in the day. It's a bit dated now. Certainly has dated, but at the time the graphics were cutting edge, and they were just special. A bit like myself. So sorry, concentrating on this drawing, trying to make it look somewhat decent. Let's cut this off then. Looks silly. That looks okay. And that's a great thing about drawing digitally, is I can just kind of mess about and try different things. We've got a bit of shadow under here. Let's grab some paint first, that would help. And try changing back to a brush. I can get some shadows under the chin. And I'll blend them out, and our cheeks are here. So again, I'll just blend them out. Just chuck down the paint and get the opacity of that brushed down a bit. And then we can start messing about trying to sculpt the face. I prefer sculpting as opposed to sketching detailed drawings. I prefer to sculpt a face. So this being the side of the cheek, so you're just making it slightly a different shade so that it looks like a 3D object. And as I say, trying to talk and do this at the same time is somewhat difficult. I normally just listen to music whenever I'm drawing, or listen to your guys' podcasts and stuff, but we'll keep going. Not a bad thing. It's enjoyable. So I just want to get that to be blending. Blend, please. Thank you. And we'll keep going. Her cheek kind of comes down. So yeah, anyway, so Viet Cong is number 2 on my list. And then we get to number 1. And number 1 holds a special place in my heart. And as I say, I'm really interested to hear what you guys have come up with, because there's so many. There was so many that I could have chose from, but I was kind of trying to stick to things that really meant a lot to me growing up. And so the last one on my list is the intro to Streets of Rage, and it's for a whole bunch of reasons. I mean, like I said, I could have chosen many others like Desert Strike, but the tune that comes with Streets of Rage, that tune, and I've heard that on the concert track that somebody put out. I think there was a concert where they put Streets of Rage tunes, and they made it to an orchestra, and it was just superb. It was really, really something else. So to hear that tune when I was a kid, and then get the mad story about getting ready to fight, it really got me in the mood, and I was ready to beat people up to try and save the city from Mr. Big or whatever his name was. And just as a kid, that really struck a chord, and even to this day it still strikes a chord every time I hear it. When I've played Streets of Rage 4, I think Kev Down the Rabbit Hole's done a video on that I've still to watch. Excuse me, spitting everywhere. And I'll need to go and have a look at that, because I've played Streets of Rage 4 and I loved it as well. So, yep, looking forward to having a wee watch of that when I get a chance. So yeah, that's my 4. That would be number 4 being Aliens. Fantastic game, fantastic movie, fantastic movies, and looking forward to the release of Romulus. And then the game was just scary and out of this world and brilliant, all at the same time. And then we had what was my second choice? That's terrible. Oh, Turtles. That's what it was. Turtles. Get the Turtles. We've got Viet Cong, and then we will have Streets of Rage. So yeah, that's my choices. I'll be, like I said, really interested to hear what you guys have got to say, and it'll be an interesting thing. I'm going to probably continue this drawing on I'll see if I can put it up as a kind of. I'll need to actually record it, that would help. But I've recorded me doing it on this. It'll be good to see where I get to, and then I might upload this kind of waffly thing later on and see where we are. How long I've been talking for? About 18 minutes. Thank you very much for watching, and wee Bob is out. Bye.